We are back with a brand new video. What is good, Heat Nation? Man, do we have a lot to talk about, man. This is the first time in free agency since the whole trade request from Durant and the Mitchell saga started that I actually have a lot to talk about, because I was looking for some stuff to talk about in these past couple videos, man. It was very, very dry, but Donovan Mitchell has been traded, not to the Heat, not to the Knicks, to the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is absolutely nuts. Like, I did not even, like, I knew the Cavaliers was an option, but like, bro, I thought it was either the Knicks or it was nowhere. Like, I kind of was losing hope anyway for him to go to the Heat. I thought it was inevitable that he would be in New York, but Cleveland scooped him up, and tremendous job by Kobe Altman, who's the Cavs GM. And yeah, the two biggest whales who were supposedly available during the offseason, Kevin Durant and Donovan Mitchell. One of them is no longer going to be traded, and the other one has already been traded just now. So this eliminates any option for the Miami Heat to get a superstar caliber player during the offseason. Now, when I first saw, the trade, I was like, yo, what? I like, my reaction was like, I was just confused. I was like, because like I said, I was expecting him to go to the Knicks. I was not expecting him to go to the Cavs, and I already made peace with the fact that the Knicks package was going to be a lot better than ours. When I saw the package that the Cleveland Cavaliers sent out for Donovan Mitchell, I was like, yo, listen, there is no way that we couldn't beat this. Now, the package was Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, Ochai Agbaji, 3 first-round picks and 2 swaps, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the Heat, I'm pretty sure, had 2 first-round picks readily available to trade. They could unlock a third if they had adjusted protections with OKC. They definitely had the 2 swaps. They had Tyler Hero, they had Nikola Jovic, and they would just have to put some salary filler, to make this trade work. So it would be a package that was very similar to the Cavaliers. Now, at first, I was like, there's no way that he couldn't, beat this package. I even tweeted it. Like, I expressed my emotions on Twitter. I was disappointed. I was not, mad. Like, I saw a lot of Heat fans, going crazy on Twitter. Like, I saw a lot of Heat fans just like, I'm done with the team, blah, blah. Like, I'm not at that point where I'm saying, like, oh my God, the season is over, like, we're screwed, this and that. Like, no, I'm not saying all that. I was just disappointed, because I was like, we clearly needed a star, and we're not going to be able to get one. And this is another year of Jimmy Butler's window that, it's looking like we're not going to win a championship. Now, we can definitely still be contenders. Like, all Pat Riley has to do now is try to find a, serviceable / good power forward or center option to trade for, because, once if we get a power forward or a center, we'll be back in the same position as we was last year, because we had PJ Tucker. Now, obviously, PJ Tucker might be better than any power forward we trade for, but it's going to be like the same level as we were last year if we were to trade for a power forward or a center now. My only, disappointment was that I wanted us to be a level above last year. I didn't want us to be the same level as last year, because a lot of these teams are getting better, and Jimmy is getting older, and we kind of had to cater to his window. I can kind of understand that the Heat tried. Obviously, letting PJ Tucker walk was not ideal, but it had to be done if they were trying to make room to trade for a superstar caliber player, and they had to sacrifice, letting him walk. So you can't say that they didn't try, but like, at the same time, the package that the Jazz received for Donovan Mitchell, I thought it was going to be a lot, more first-round picks involved, which is why I was disappointed that the Heat did not get involved. There was even a rumor, like a report from Woj, saying that the Jazz could have had RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Mitchell Robinson, and 3 first-round picks. I'm super confused as to how that trade did not go down, because that is a no-brainer to me. I think that trade is a lot better than the trade they just had. But hey, man, shout out to the Jazz, I guess, for starting their full rebuild. They have 15 picks in 7 years, and they still have a bunch of contracts that they can still flip. And then shout out to the Cavs. The Cavs are going to be nice. I'm not going to lie. I don't think the Cavs will be a contender. I think a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon of the Cavs, and I guess rightfully so. When you get an exciting player like Donovan Mitchell, you want to, think that he's going to be very, very good, and the team is going to be extremely good. I'm not ready to put them into that championship contender level yet. I know I just made like a tier list like yesterday, not yesterday, like 2 days ago, and I posted it on this channel. But I don't think they're going to be championship contenders, but they could definitely be a team that, you don't want to face in the playoffs. They'd probably take a couple games off of you, that type of thing. I still think they're like one piece away, in my opinion. I know like they have really good, obviously they have Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, Jared Allen, but I still think there's 5 teams in the East that are better than them, and I'm including the Heat when I say that. Yes, I know a lot of people might be like, yo, what are you talking about? The Heat starting lineup is terrible. It's not terrible. We were just the 1 seed last year, and the only player we lost was PJ Tucker. Like, we have to stop overreacting and saying that we're going to be a lottery team, playing team. We're not going to be terrible next year. We're not going to be bad. My only frustration was that we're not going to be better than we were last year. That was my only frustration. I wanted us to improve, and it looks like we're not going to be able to do that. We're at best, we'll probably be at the same level as we were last year, which, as you saw, was not enough. So that's my only frustration, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be like a lot of these Heat fans on Twitter, and a lot of fans were just, they were just done with the season. And I was like, how can you do that? This team was just the number 1 seed. We're having in shape Kyle Lowry coming back, Victor Oladipo with the full offseason, hopefully an improved Hero and Bam, and we still have Jimmy Butler. So, and not to mention we have a lot of these undrafted guys from last year who can still improve. So I mean, I think that this team is still, in the mix. It's just a matter of fact that they're not better than they were last year, which means that they probably won't win the championship. But you never know. Pat Riley might, pull some strings at the deadline. But, as of right now, this is your Miami Heat roster. I fully expect this to be the roster heading into training camp. I don't really think I saw the, we do have to talk about the Jay Crowder thing, because I saw like an Instagram, it was a picture of an Instagram post from Jay Crowder, and one of the comments was like, pay the man, bring him back, Miami, and he pinned it. So he wants to come back, but and he can obviously make that happen in like 2 seconds if they wanted to. Jay Crowder is not someone who you have to, spend years planning to trade for. Like, he's very easy to trade for. But I think they're kind of just, weighing their options right now. Another thing that I did realize when I was like venting on Twitter is that the Jazz probably did not want to pay Hero the amount of money that he would want. Sexton's contract was actually very cheap. I'm not gonna lie. Sexton, I think it was 4 years, $72 million. When you're looking at Hero, it would probably be like 4 years, $100 million. And you could even argue that a healthy Colin Sexton is better than Tyler Hero. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna say that one's better than the other, but you could if you wanted to. I think, part of the reason that his contract was a lot lower than, someone like a Hero would be, or RJ Barrett, as we saw, was the fact that he's coming off of a gruesome ACL injury, if I'm not mistaken. So, I guess that's another reason that the Jazz did not, really find Hero appealing, because they would have to pay him a lot of money, and Sexton was just ultimately cheaper. But I don't know. I'm just, at the end of the day, I keep saying this. I'm not I'm not upset, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed with the fact that this team is not going to be better than it was last year, because that was my goal. My goal was to look at a Miami Heat team coming into this season and look at a team that's going to be better than it was last year, and it's not going to be. But yeah, enough about the Donovan Mitchell stuff. I think this brings us to what are our expectations this year, and my expectations is for us to still be a top 4 seed. I still think we're gonna be in the mix to be a contender. Again, that doesn't mean I think we're gonna win the championship. I just said that I don't think we're gonna be better than we were last year. We might be the same level. We might be a tad bit worse. We're gonna be a top 4 seed though. We're not gonna be terrible for sure. Like I think we're gonna be a top 4 seed. But I think there's a lot of pressure on some of these guys, man. We saw Tyler Hero tweet, keep that same energy or whatnot. Listen, man, Tyler Hero. I like Tyler Hero, but you got to come with it. You have to show up, the whole of next season. We need that next leap. We did not, we were not able to trade for Donovan Mitchell. We were not able to trade for Kevin Durant. So the main trade piece that we were going to send in that package deal, he has to step up and he has to take that next step. You know, if you want to, you know, make us believe that you're on the same level as Trae Young and John Morant and whatever other player you said last year, I think it was Luka, you got to take that next step. Every year, you know, we cannot be satisfied, you know, with the same performance every year, unless, you know, you're making it to all-star games or you're superstardom and you're not at that level yet. You have to take that next step, and we need to see it consistently, especially in the playoffs. I know he had his injury issues or whatnot, but even when he was out there, I mean, in the Hawks series, DeLon Wright was all over him. In the Sixers series, he just, you know, wasn't able to handle a blitz. And then obviously in the Boston series, he went down with an injury. But I think that, you know, if you want us to, you know, if you want to prove us wrong, bro, you just have to show up. And all the haters, like, I don't get and understand and agree with any of the personal attacks that a lot of people have been throwing at Hero. Like, a lot of these, you know, a lot of the personal stuff I don't agree with. You know, when I criticize a player, I keep it strictly basketball related, and you know, I think that's what you should do. You know, I'm not here, you know, I'm not gonna boss you around and say, okay, you got to do this. I'm just saying I think that that's what should be done. You shouldn't be attacking their personal lives or family or whatnot. Keep like, leave that alone. As far as his basketball ability is concerned, Hero is a very promising young player, but I think, you know, he thinks he's better than he is, which is fine, but you have to show us that, bro, because there's no way that anyone thinks you're on the level of Luka, Trae, and Ja that you said you were last year. You had a really good season last year, but there's still doubts. There's still doubts on how you're able to handle a double team. There's still doubts on your ball handling ability. There's still like big doubts on your defensive ability, finishing ability. Like, you have to improve all these things, and I'm sure that he's in the gym right now and he's working, because I can never question about Hero. His work ethic is off the charts. We all know that. Everyone knows Tyler Hero is a hard worker, but you have to prove us wrong next year. You have to, you know, just take that next step. We need your next step, bro, because we need a consistent second or third option next to Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo, this is the exact same message for you too. You just have to be aggressive, bro. I've seen in the Miami Pro League, this guy was taking threes like he was KD. What is stopping you from taking these in the game? You just have to be more aggressive. You and Tyler are our next hope, man. You have to just put your foot down and say, you know what? I'm taking X amount of shots per game, and I don't care. You know, if we make them, we make them. If we miss, we miss. But we need a secondary star right now who's going to be a consistent number 2 to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler needs help, and it's on to Bam and Tyler to take that next step. But that's where we're going to wrap up the video, man. Let me know what your thoughts are about the Mitchell trade, the whole situation. I'll catch y'all later as always. Peace.